really wanted her for the part. So how can I help, I ask. Come and read with us, he pleads. I know you can do it. Well, yeah, I know I can do it, but it's not Shakespeare. It's David Mamet. It's When You Coming Back, Red Rider. So, okay, I agree to come, and he has me read. He's happy again. Thank God she can read! I read with the rest of the cast for about 8 weeks, rehearsing. It's a play. It ain't Shakespeare, but I'm playing a large part. I have a lot of dialogue. A week before opening, I get laryngitis. Nothing new, I get it every year. God only knows why. I can't speak, can't make a sound. Gordon is furious. He gets a clawhead hammer and hammers down on a 4x4 right next to my head. I can't scream. I'd like to. He scared the bark off of me. What to do? 2 days before opening, my voice came back. Whew. It was then. I swore to myself I would never put myself in a position like that again. Not when everyone in the cast at one time or other is waiting for me to deliver lines so they in turn can deliver theirs. But I love the theater. There's nothing else like it. Words spoken in that moment, that singular moment that will never come again. Sure, movies are great, but once they're in a can, they will be the same forever and ever. Amen. So how am I going to still be involved with the theater in a meaningful way if I promise myself I will never be in another production that involves other actors who will rely on me to form the lines? Aha, my solution. I will write for the stage. And why not? I was already writing poetry, short stories, essays. I can write for the theater. I'm an artist. I can do anything. Regarding artwork, this was true. With the exception of glass blowing and making stained glass windows, I have done every other kind of art. Intaglio, lithography, drawing, painting, sculpture, bronze casting, oxygen acetylene welding. No one would teach me how to MIG or TIG weld, but I did all the rest. I was happy as an artist. Always was one. When I first decided to go to college, I was told to do some required testing, things that would tell the powers that be what one is qualified to do. They came back and told me I should be a certified public accountant, CPA for short. So I took 3 years of business accounting and 3 years of computer science. Back then, the computers were big as a house and always had to be kept at a very cold temperature. I took these classes, learned a lot, hated every minute, finished with them. I went out and bought a tube top and a pair of bib overalls, started throwing pots and got happy again. I painted, I threw pots. Bob Stewart wanted to pay my tuition so I could get enrolled at Fresno State, just so I could take his classes. He loved my work. I loved his. He was teaching sculpture and doing incredible edible art. It was beautiful. He died not too long after, far too young. I met Nicholas years later. He performed his art on stage and Chekhov. I didn't tell him, but hey, it ain't Shakespeare or Sophocles. Oh, I give the Russians their due, good writers, but Sophocles, hey, that was a playwright. I mean, come on, he gave us Oedipus, just a baby, already labeled a killer. Oh yes, soothsayers, even back then, knew how to root out a bad seed. So send the child away, they said, so he can't kill his father, because he will, if you don't get rid of him. But he grows up to kill his father, marry his mother. He doesn't know this. They have daughters. He finds out what he's done. Terrible things. Gouges out his own eyes. That's a story. Goes walking through the world blind for the rest of his life. Then there's Chekhov. grammatically correct, but ain't is my favorite word, and I ain't gonna stop using it, and I ain't gonna stop singing Shakespeare's praises. Damn! He gave us Hamlet and Shylock, and oh yeah, Titus. Maybe you know Titus. Full title, The Most Lamentable Tale of Titus Andronicus. Oh yeah, Titus is an old man. He's an uncle to Lavinia. Lavinia, his young nurse, his young niece, gets raped by these animals, the sons of the Queen of Goths. Holy crap, they don't just rape her, they cut out her tongue and cut off her hands, so now she can't speak her assailant's name, or having no hands now, cannot write who did these shameful things to her. Titus finds her and binds her wounds. Titus makes these 2 long stakes for Lavinia. She can't talk, but he binds the sticks to her stumps, the end of the stumps where once hands used to be, and he tells her, now write! Write who did this to you, in the sand, write! Writing in the sand with the long sticks, Lavinia tells her Uncle Titus her assailants' names. They are the sons of the Queen of Goths. Oh yeah, I can't forget this. Titus invites the queen to dinner to honor her and her sons. She accepts gladly. Oh my, you're such a bad boy, Willie. Titus prepares a grand feast for his honored guest, the queen. She wants to wait for her sons. Titus encourages her to eat while it's hot. A delicious pate, a special recipe he has made in her honor, just for her. She does eat, wishing again that her boys were here to celebrate with her. Titus breaks his silence and tells her, they are here on the table in the pate you just ate. And then along came Jones. Nah, just kidding. No one wants to keep up with this family, the Hamlets. Oh yeah, here in this play resides one of the finest speeches ever penned by man. To be or not to be. The soliloquy from the 3rd act of Hamlet. Oh, Willie, you did yourself proud. That is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to bear arms against the sea of trouble. Only Shakespeare could have written so eloquently. While the ghost of Hamlet's father wanders through the castle Elsinore in the fog at night, a dead man with unspoken words to say to his son. A dead man, made so by his own covetous brother, so he can steal the throne and bed his wife. Chekhov didn't come close to, too busy picking cherries with old maids and uncles. Who can forget the bard's Jew, Shylock, who demands his pound of flesh? And how is he to extract it without making his debtor bleed? He asks, does not a Jew bleed like any other man? Of course, if he is a red-blooded man, he will bleed, even today, 500 years later. He's still bleeding, and Shakespeare is still as relevant, a true literary genius. Maybe, will we ever know who William Shakespeare really was? Speculators argue. Maybe it was Bacon, Christopher Marlowe, or someone else. Maybe a combination of people. I don't know. I personally believe he was one man, married to a woman that gave him twins. A man that used the language of his birth better than anyone before or since. I'm tired. It's the middle of the night. But my hat's off to you, dear Will. Thank you, and rest in peace. Isolde.